Hey guys, welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'll be your host for this one, Jared Bronstein, and once again we're talking about the SCP Foundation. More specifically, SCP-1861, a meteorological phenomenon characterized by heavy precipitation and fog, composed of saltwater, human blood, and human cerebrospinal fluid. However, before we explore the idea of this incredibly terrifying SCP being real, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon to be notified of future videos. Drop me a comment below with some other SCPs you'd want us to cover, and stick around until the very end of the video for some comment replies. And now it is time. Let's talk about SCP-1861 and how we'd handle its existence in the real world. As previously mentioned, SCP-1861 is simply a random rainfall. But unlike our normal rain, SCP-1861's rainfall consists of saltwater, human blood, and cerebrospinal fluid. Gross, and very specific. But we're not done here. The infected areas seem to be completely random and has no correlation to the area's regular weather patterns. The manifestation of SCP-1861 tends to happen every 3 to 6 months all around the world. The earliest record of its manifestation happened back in 1916. The amount of area affected by SCP-1861 also varies. However, to date, the largest affected area was approximately 5 square kilometers, which is equivalent to about 1,200 acres or just under 1,000 football fields. So entire towns or cities could possibly be affected, depending on their size of course. While SCP-1861 does manifest however that may happen, it then summons SCP-1861-A. Think of it as a subdivision of SCP-1861. Now SCP-1861-A is, according to the official website, a single underwater marine vessel that closely resembles B-class boats used by the British Royal Navy in World War I. Although SCP-1861-A will try to find a body of water large enough to support its entire frame, if for whatever reason that is not available, SCP-1861-A will appear in any collection of water with a surface area large enough to support its conning tower and topmost platform, even if it's only a few inches deep. And SCP-1861-A actually summons another subdivision of this SCP, SCP-1861-B. Yeah, this is a crazy one. SCP-1861-B is described as a humanoid entity that is dressed in a full deep-sea diving bodysuit. They're typically the size of an adult male and have the same strength and speed of one. Majority of them are capable of speech and competent enough to have full-on conversations. However, there is about 9% of them that have limited intelligence. SCP-1861-B will emerge from SCP-1861-A, and when they do step foot onto land, they will try to persuade any human they see to take shelter in SCP-1861-A. Those who refuse may be forcibly taken inside SCP-1861-A, but it depends on each individual case. Once a human enters SCP-1861-A, they will re-emerge as an SCP-1861-B whenever and wherever SCP-1861 manifests next. If SCP-1861-B is taken out of the area where SCP-1861 has manifested, SCP-1861-B will start to lose consciousness and become extremely fatigued until they return to an area where SCP-1861 has manifested. After the full manifestation of SCP-1861, any traces of SCP-1861-A or B will disappear, and all the blood, cerebrospinal fluid, and salt water left behind by SCP-1861 will instantly convert to regular rainwater. There were also documented interviews attached which had recorded conversations in text between humans, possibly SCP employees, and SCP-1861-Bs. The first interview is an SCP-1861-B trying to convince a person who's been dubbed D-1861-36 to follow him into SCP-1861-A. Upon questioning, it seems SCP-1861-B becomes tired of trying to convince the subject to join him to find safety, which is where the documentation ends. The next interview is between D-1861-45 and another SCP-1861-B, claiming to be D-1861-46, aka a man named Sal. The documentation explains D-1861-45 and D-1861-46, Sal, were told to go into an SCP-1861 manifestation, but D-1861-45 was told to avoid all SCP-1861-Bs, and D-1861-46, Sal, was told to go into SCP-1861-A. The conversation between D-1861-45 and SCP-1861-B, pretending to be Sal, explains what happened when he went into SCP-1861-A. It turns out everyone who goes into SCP-1861-A is told to put on the scuba suits. Then SCP-1861-A starts filling up with water, most likely because it's been submerged. When the doors to SCP-1861 opened up, it seemed like everything was normal, but underwater, almost like another dimension of sorts. None of them slept, ate, or drank anything for nearly 6 months. They just kept exploring this unknown world of theirs. Those who were turned into SCP-1861-Bs after entering SCP-1861-A were told not to take off their suits. Of course, some disobeyed and their bodies allegedly dissolved into the water, almost like a mist. This is what happened to our subject, named Sal, who, when he was speaking with D-1861-45, was told to take off his suit in the real world. At first, Sal seemed incredibly scared, but upon taking his helmet off, seawater started pouring out of the suit. There was no body, just a pair of eyes and teeth. Before disappearing, SCP-1861-B, pretending to be Sal, explained he saw dead bodies floating in the other dimension, or wherever SCP-1861-A took them, but the bodies were missing eyes and teeth. The bodies were of those who hadn't gone into SCP-1861-A, including D-1861-45, aka the subject that was told not to be in contact with any SCP-1861-Bs. Now I really hope I'm making sense here, guys, because this is a very long and confusing one. If none of that added up for you, put very simply, SCP-1861 is spontaneous weather that can affect any area randomly. Upon its manifestation, a submarine emerges in any body of water it can fit in, and this submarine is referred to as SCP-1861-A. SCP-1861-A contains humanoids, which appear to be people in scuba diver suits. These people try to convince more people on land more specifically, in the real world, to join them inside the submarine, and when they aren't being deployed to recruit more people to join them, they are taken to another world or dimension inside of SCP-1861-A. That world or dimension is all underwater, and everything is made of water or an apparent liquid of sorts. There's no food or water, they don't sleep, and anyone who takes their suit off, regardless of where they are, either in the real world or in the world of SCP-1861-A, will immediately dissipate. They will just completely disappear into a mist. So now that we understand, or at least somewhat understand, what SCP-1861 is, we can finally get into what would happen if it were real. There's no way of even being able to track it or understand when or where it would happen. Eventually, it seems SCP-1861 would take over the world. Now, of course, there are the people that would refuse to go into SCP-1861-A, but there's a very realistic possibility they are forced in. There's strength in numbers, and it wouldn't be before long that there are more SCP-1861-Bs than humans on Earth. The description of SCP-1861-B's suit is that it's anonymously durable and can only be removed by the person wearing it. This leads me to believe nothing would be able to penetrate the suit, meaning eventually the world would legitimately be dominated by SCP-1861. Unless the remaining survivors were able to possibly hide from SCP-1861, more specifically SCP-1861-Bs, by maybe living underground, it seems everyone would eventually end up inside of SCP-1861-A, inevitably turning them into SCP-1861-Bs. Under the impression that their suits protect them from all harm, such as gunshots, knives, really any weapon that could be used to penetrate, what would stop them from literally dragging you into SCP-1861-A? Now, the subjects themselves don't necessarily have superhuman strength, but if 2 or 3 tried to subdue you, I don't think it'd be much of a fight. Fortunately, SCP-1861 does not exist. We don't see rain made up of a mixture of seawater, blood, and cerebrospinal fluid falling from our skies. There are no humanoids in scuba suits convincing or forcefully taking innocent people into a submarine, and none of this is a threat to us. But if SCP-1861 were real, well, you now know what would happen. On that note, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. We got some comments from the video. What if the sun was blue? Xavier Hawkins said it would be really hotter. Yeah, it'd be very, very hot. Blue is like the hottest of all hots. You can't get any hotter than blue. So yeah, if the sun was blue, yeah, it would be a lot hotter. And, you know, as you guys can clearly see, we'd all die. Josu WR said, feature me, what if we all used Tesla? I think he meant to write, what if we all used Tesla? You got your feature, and I think if we all use Teslas, we'd all be a lot happier, because have you guys seen the inside of a Tesla? I've never been in one, but they look absolutely insane, and I would love one, and I think if we all drove Teslas, the world would be a lot better of a place, because obviously they're electric, so it's good for the environment, but 2, we'd all be in Teslas, guys. Who doesn't want a Tesla? Lloyd Hyperton Universum said, but what if Earth was far enough to survive? How blue light would affect our planet? So if you're saying if we were far enough to survive the sun being blue, how would that affect our planet? That's a great question. I'd have to look into it scientifically. Like, I don't know necessarily if the Earth would be blue. Like, the sky's obviously blue, but I don't think it would make everything blue, because the sun is technically white, but white isn't technically a color, and the reason why the sky rather is blue is just because of the way the atmosphere is and the way the sun reflects light. It's a very confusing, scientific, legitimate reason, but if the sun itself was blue and we were far enough, I don't think it would turn our entire Earth blue, if that's what you're trying to get at. Anyways, guys, on that note, we're going to wrap this one up. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. This has been a very, very long one, so if you've stuck all the way through, thank you. We appreciate it. Let us know in the comments down below what SCP you guys would like to see next, and we'll definitely be looking at those comments if you guys have made it this far into the video, because this was quite a long one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Share it with some friends that like the SCP stories, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.